Blunder's Mouth Theatre presents Am I Old Yet? Season 9, Episode 10. And Helen finally gets to see her grand plan coming together. Demeter, the goddess of nature, or harvest, whichever you prefer, agreed to wait for Helen's permission to act upon her wishes, and the moment has come. Enjoy. Oh, and stick around at the end for a big announcement. Helen, there you are. I was beginning to wonder if I had the right time. I get quite confused with all these time zones.
Oh, Demeter, I'm sorry I'm late. No, it was me, not you. I was about to leave the house when one of my neighbours was taken off in an ambulance to the hospital. Suspected heart attack.
Oh dear, I do hope she is all right.
Oh, actually, yes, she is all right. Her granddaughter phoned me when they got there, and Nana Madeline is just fine. Indigestion, they thought. Such a relief.
Ah, she's an old lady, this Nana.
103, would you believe? But we don't want to lose her just yet.
Of course not. Good friends, good neighbours.
Good people.
Of course. Good people is always hard when they have to leave us.
But you don't have that problem, do you? All you immortal beings, it must be different for you.
Oh, not really. Take my situation, for example, with Persephone. Every year she must go to the underworld to be with Hades, and every year to me is as if she has died. Every year. That is our price that we pay for being immortal. We have to go through the same grief over and over. We never get used to it.
I see. I hadn't thought of that.
But we are here to talk about life, no? The new life that your gift of the trees makes it possible for the new houses, for the homeless people to live in. What a wonderful idea.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you think so. I just hope the organisers will stick to the plan, not try to twist it in some way.
Well, that is all we can do. Live in hope, yes?
Yes, so here is the list with all the locations. I'm dying to know how you're going to do it. Will it be like a whole bunch of trees just spring up overnight? I can't imagine how astonished they'll be.
Do you know why I think it will work if we do it this way?
Yes, please.
It's just like your artist, the one who paints those wonderful images on the walls of buildings, telling such powerful stories, and nobody ever sees him do it.
Banksy, of course.
Yes, and just as this Banksy has good people who keep him safe, so do you. No one out there will know that you made it happen. You have your team with a structure so that the councils have to apply to the trust for access to the free trees, and your friend Mary can follow how they convert the money they have saved into the new homes. So first, the trees. But we know it has worked when we see the homes.
That's the idea. Oh, I just thought, I haven't heard from Hermes for a while. Do you know what he's doing now?
Oh, he's around, keeping busy. You know how it is. Being helpful, doing no harm.
Like Silene?
Ah, yes, just like Silene. You like her, no?
Of course. Very likeable. Just like Hermes.
Very like.
I thought so.
Hi, Susie. How's it going?
Oh, hi, Gran. How are you?
I'm absolutely stunningly marvellous. How are you? Hey, where are you?
On the train, heading for Calais.
Lovely. So how's the tour going?
Oh, Gran, it's been amazing. I can't believe we're halfway through already.
Yes, 3 months already, eh? Are they into gothic folk rock then?
Who?
The French.
Oh, well, they seem to be. The audiences were amazing and so kind. We kept being invited to people's homes for meals. fabulous food. I've put on so much weight.
How much?
Oh, at least 2 kilos.
And how tall are you?
170.
What's that in real money?
5'6", Gran.
Well, then that's not a huge amount of weight.
Oh, Gran, I have to ask, how is the Trees to Houses campaign going?
Extremely well so far. No hitches to speak of. I arranged it with Demeter. All I have to do is long for trees in a particular location, and she makes it happen. The council is required to build fences around the appropriate field as if there's a major building project going on, and the trees spring up over a few days.
And are people noticing?
Oh, there's a bit of chatter on social media, but nothing on the news outlets as yet.
And what about the new homes for the homeless people?
Well, so far, the councils are doing everything we asked, turning their parks and gardens trees fund over to the housing departments. But there's a bit of a delay. We're setting in place a new kind of construction that we're still exploring. Oh, there's your father. I have to go. We're off to have a picnic in the park to discuss this very matter.
Okay, give him my love.
I will. And please give mine to Charlie. I'll be seeing you soon, eh? Exciting.
Welcome to the interrogation. I'm Kirsteen Walkman. Each week one challenging news report and an expert witness with hopefully a degree of understanding at the end. This week's challenging issue is a rumour about tiny homes for homeless people, for which various local councils throughout the country seem to have suddenly found the funding. Later, I'll be talking to the Minister for the Environment, the Honourable Mrs. Mary Hatfield, but first, with me in the studio today is Miss Moira McGinty, Research Fellow at the Institute for Local Government Budgeting Oversight. Now, Moira, please, give us an idea of what we are hearing and whether you think there's any truth in it.
Of course, Kirsteen. Well, the most likely source for these stories seems to be a secret whistleblower in a local government organisation, but we have no idea which one. But she seems to have information about how the councils suddenly seem to find the funding to provide these new homes for the people living on the streets in their region. The planning permission for these new buildings seem to be passed very quickly, with no particular fanfare, and they also seem to go up very quickly, in the space of 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, but that's unheard of, isn't it?
Normally, yes. But in this instance, they're using the latest technology in 3D printing, turning plastic waste into tiny homes. It's very economical, obviously environmentally wonderful.
Plastic waste? Well, wonderful if it's true. But surely plastic degrades in the sunshine, so they won't last long.
Oh, they've thought of that too. They include carbon fibre and glass fibre in with the recycled plastic, as well as a UV stabiliser. I've checked this out with my colleagues in various research institutes, and it all seems to be perfectly kosher.
And do we have any idea where they've suddenly found the money to do this? Local councils have had so much funding reduced lately, some of them on the verge of bankruptcy.
Indeed. And I'm not sure of this, but there could be a connection between these building programmes and the sudden appearance of new growth woodlands in all of these particular council areas.
Now, as you know, I'm not a great believer in coincidences. Do you think there's a possibility that someone or some organisation is funding these new homes on condition that the councils plant more trees?
It's a possibility, but it still wouldn't explain how they found the money to purchase the trees.
Oh, I see what you mean. So there is still a conundrum.
Indeed there is. And you know, Kirsteen, I'm not bothered. As long as they keep doing it, planting trees and providing homes for people who've been stuck living on the streets.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Perhaps we should just be thankful and leave it at that.
I'd be okay with that.
Not so sure I would. Thank you, Moira McGinty. And now, welcome to the programme, Mary Hadfield. Thank you for waiting.
What did you think, Helen? Do you think the programme did it justice?
Oh, I'm very pleased with it. I think Moira did a great job of explaining what was happening, and she managed to make the connection between the trees and the new builds without giving anything away.
Good. Although Kirsteen won't leave it at that, of course.
Oh, no, I can understand that. But boy, oh boy, I'm just so pleased we finally got it all over the starting line.
Well, it's just wonderful. Thank you. And Helen?
Yes?
What's next?
Next?
Yes. What do you have up your sleeve for the next superheroine adventure?
Oh, Lordy. Maybe sleep for a few months? Would that be allowed?
I think it would be highly recommended. Enjoy. And Mom, did you ever find out who the mystery whistleblower was?
Well, I've no proof, but I have an extremely strong suspicion.
And?
Hermes.
Hermes? But didn't they say it was a woman's voice?
Oh, yes, they did. And don't you remember what a trickster he is? 1 minute a lady dog, the next a boy dog, then his beautiful self, then a raging hyena at the gala dinner. Well...
Well, what? Mom, don't be a tease.
Silene. That was Hermes all along.
No.
I was suspicious from the beginning, but as time went on, it was just too obvious. But you must never, ever, ever let Zeus find out.
Why not?
Why not? Do you want to be around when the king of the gods has a massive tantrum because his favourite little boy totally disobeyed him?
No, not really.
Well then. And there it is, a great big finale to season 9. I do hope you enjoyed it. We certainly enjoyed making it. That's Wendy Lapp as Moira McGinty, and me, Flloyd Kennedy, as Demeter, Helen, Mary, and Kirsteen Walkman, with apologies again for my croaky voice. I still have not quite recovered from that horrible cold. The music was provided by John T LaBarbera, and you can listen to his full catalogue on Spotify. He's got a new album just out. It's beautiful. It's called Perpetual Sunrise. Am I Old Yet is going on official hiatus for a few months, but I'll be publishing the occasional bonus episode from time to time. But now for the news that I promised you. Ta-da! I've written a whole new podcast, 8 episodes so far, with a completely new cast of characters lined up for you to get to know. It's called Baked Off, and it's a comedy, and the first season will be dropping into your podcasting apps in a couple of months. All I have to do first is get it recorded, edited, sound designed, and then published. So listen in next week and I'll tell you what it's about. In the meantime, please don't forget to click on the follow button in your app if you haven't already done so, or drop a comment on the website amioldjet.com/reviews. And if you'd like to invest in the production of season 10, why not join Scott, Jane and Joanna at patreon.com/amioldjet. There are extra benefits like the binge audio files, several episodes at a time without interruptions. And by the way, those tiny houses, 3D printed from plastic waste, do exist. There's a link in the show notes. You check it out. Thanks for listening. Stay safe.